Welcome to the Application Archives, where we stop just reading the Word and start living it out loud. Today is our last episode for Proverbs. We will be going over Proverbs chapter 30 and 31 to conclude this series. I really enjoyed doing this, so it's been pretty cool. This Proverbs series was just a small outlook on what we'll be doing more of in future, but for now, this is it for Proverbs. But I also believe that in future, I'll probably do many more episodes on it. Today we'll be reading from Proverbs 30 to 31, starting with 30. The words of Agur, the son of Yakeh, his utterance, this man declared to Ithiel, Ithiel to Ukol. Surely I am more stupid than any man, and do not have the understanding of a man. I neither learned wisdom, nor have knowledge of the Holy One, who has ascended into heaven or descended, who has gathered the wind in his fists, who has bound the waters in a garment, who has established all the ends of the earth. What is his name, and what is his son's name, if you know? Every word of God is pure. He is a shield to those who put their trust in him. Do not add to his words, lest he rebuke you, and you be found a liar. 2 things I request of you. Remove falsehood and lies far from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with the food allotted to me, lest I be full and deny you, and say, Who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal, and profane the name of my God. Do not malign a servant to his master, lest he curse you and you be found guilty. There is a generation that curses its father, and does not bless its mother. There is a generation that is pure in its own eyes, yet is not washed from its filthiness. There is a generation, oh how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are like swords, and whose fangs are like knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men. The leech has 2 daughters, give and give. There are 3 things that are never satisfied, 4 never say enough: the grave, the barren womb, the earth that is not satisfied with water, and the fire never says enough. The eye that mocks his father, and scorns obedience to his mother. The ravens of the valley will pick it out, and the young eagles will eat it. There are 3 things which are too wonderful for me, yes, 4 which I do not understand. The way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent on a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a virgin. This is the way of an adulterous woman. She eats and wipes her mouth, and says, I have done no wickedness. For 3 things the earth is perturbed, yes, 4 it cannot bear up. For a servant when he reigns, a fool when he is filled with food, a hateful woman when she is married, and a maidservant who succeeds her mistress. There are 4 things which are little on earth, but they are exceedingly wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their food in the summer. The rock badgers are a feeble folk, yet they make their homes in the crags. The locusts have no king, yet they advance in ranks. The spider skillfully grasps with its hands, and it is in kings' palaces. There are 3 things which are majestic in pace, yes, 4 which are stately in walk: a lion which is among beasts, and does not turn away from any, a greyhound, a male goat also, and a king whose troops are with him. If you have been foolish in exalting yourself, or if you have devised evil, put your hand on your mouth. For as churning of milk produces butter, and wringing the nose produces blood, so the forcing of the wrath produces strife. Then Proverbs chapter 31. The words of King Lemuel, the utterance which his mother taught him. What, my son, and what son of my womb, and what son of my vows? Do not give your strength to women, nor your ways to that which destroy kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes intoxicating drink, lest they drink and forget the law, and pervert the justice of all the afflicted. Give strong drink to him who is perishing, and wine to those who are bitter of heart. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Open your mouth for the speechless, in the cause of all who are appointed to die. Open your mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax, and willingly works with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She brings her food from afar. She also rises while it is yet night, and provides food for her household, and a portion for her maidservants. She considers a field and buys it, and from her profits she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength, and strengthens her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good, and her lamp does not go out by night. She stretches out her hands to the distaff, and her hand holds the spindle. She extends her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household is clothed with scarlet. She makes tapestry for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates. When he sits among the elders of the land, she makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies sashes for the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing. She shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness. She watches over the ways of her household, and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many daughters have done well, but you excel them all. Charm is deceitful, and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Okay, so after hearing those readings, one of the more notable things is, rather than being written by Solomon, this last chapter was written by Agur. One of the first things he does is he admits his ignorance compared to God's majesty and sovereignty. We see that every word of God is a perfect shield for those who take refuge in him. He then requests contentment with what God has for him. Then he goes over the warnings and the mysteries and etc. Very cool to listen to. Then moving on to chapter 31, we are given advice from a mother to avoid wasting strength on those who lead to ruin, and against drunkenness, but instead to defend the poor and the needy. We are then talked to about a noble woman who is a blessing to her family and community. These last chapters go over godly leadership, dignity of work, and the inner character, rather than the outward appearance. Proverbs overall ends how it begins, referencing the fear of our God. I think it's something to note that, seeing as it is brought up so many times, it's obviously something quite important. Before all knowledge, you must first have fear and reverence for God. So, for our last applications of this series, we first have starting your prayers by humbling yourself. It's a good way to do it, starting your prayers by first humbling yourself. It acknowledges the fact that you and God are not on the same level. God is much higher and far more sovereign. Then we have prioritizing inner godliness and faithful works. This one almost speaks for itself, but I wanted to put it in there anyways. Godliness is very important, especially as Christians, and especially in our inner thoughts and in our heart. We must be godly, because as we talked about a little while ago, if what is coming into your life doesn't match up with what you aim to have coming out of your life, then you've got some problems to work on. And then also the faithful works. Faithful works can be hard. There are often things where you don't think you can do it, things where you feel like you're not the right person, but God has put you there for a reason. And then we have having integrity in leadership and helping the weak. Another one that I feel speaks for itself. Helping the weak might not always come in quite literally helping them in every way possible, but rather it might come in buying somebody food if they need it. It might come in helping a friend move house when they're most vulnerable. Overall, we must actively seek wisdom and help others while having reverence for God, because as we talked about in nearly all of these episodes, before all knowledge, you must have fear for God. Thank you so much for listening, as always. This is the end of our Proverbs series. I do wish I could have gone a little deeper into everything, but unfortunately, I no longer have the time. I do think that in future, I will be going over Proverbs many times again, however, on different verses. I really enjoyed this, and I hope you guys did too. Thank you so much for listening.